New in my roles. This is my first ethics board meeting.
Well, we'll try to make it easy for you, Chiefs. All right, thank you. Who else is here? Director Gilmore.
Yes, everybody. Director Gilmore, Mayor's Office of Cable and Communications. How are you all?
We're great. Beautiful on the outside, cold out or on the inside. Cold outside today. I'm not ready for it. And we have who else is here? Yes, Ms. Freund.
Hi. Yes. Hi. Vanessa Freund, Chief of Innovation and Strategic Partnerships in the Mayor's Office of Small Minority Business Advocacy and Development.
Perfect. Thank you all for being here. Any other guests, Chris?
Don't see any more.
All right. I'm ready to.
Marva, I'm sorry. Oh,
Go
sorry.
ahead.
Marva Williams just joined from the Mayor's Office as well. She's also in special events.
Fantastic. Thanks for being here, Ms. Williams.
Good afternoon.
All right. Are we ready to, now, Sean, are we ready to start the recording?
Yes.
All right. Sounds like we're recording. All right. This is the Ethics Board meeting for Baltimore City for Wednesday, November 13th, 2024. It's 2:35 p.m. We're calling to order with a quorum of 3. And we will let you know first that all participants in the public session of the board meeting today acknowledge and consent to the video and audio recording of the public session and the publication of the recording of the board's website and social media accounts. Per the Open Meetings Act, the board discloses that it adjourned its virtual open meeting on October 9th, 2024 to enter administrative session at approximately 2:38 p.m. 3 board members were present. Member Sampson was not. We discussed administrative matters, including complaints. We also may need to close some or all of this meeting today to preserve the confidentiality mandated by the Ethics Code or is otherwise authorized by the State Open Meetings Act. Upon adjournment of the open session, the board may reconvene for an administrative session to discuss non-public administrative functions of the board. All right. Good afternoon, all. Would we want to go ahead? Is any of this old business, Chris? Our guests here?
The infrastructure summit, anyone? I think that was just an update that they provided regarding the time extension of the waiver. They had only requested a very brief period and informed us that they would require more time. I don't believe that will require an additional vote by the board. It is just a notice to the board that this is going to be happening.
Okay. Who is here, if anyone, to address the holiday on holiday?
Yeah, so that's what myself, and Miss Marva are here for the mayor's annual tree lighting.
Well,
That's what we put in the waiver for.
That makes me happy. Let's start with that.
Okay, so we put in the solicitation waiver for the mayor's annual, Mayor Brandon Scott's annual tree lighting ceremony. It's pretty much the same structure as in the past year for us to be able to solicit to get donations for toys, for the Toys for Tots, which is Miss Marva is over. And any funds would be also going towards coat donations this year. So we will also be taking on coat donations so we can give those out to families in need of coats.
All right, and this has been going on for quite some time, certainly since I've been on the board under successive administrations. This is in kind, almost exclusively, right? In kind donations?
Correct.
Yeah, okay. Members, I don't have any further questions. Thank you for being here.
I have no questions.
None here.
And just wanted to flag too, in-kind donations, as in toys for tots and clothing in terms of the coats. But we also plan to receive monetary donations because we'll broadly solicit. So if individuals want to sponsor or send over monetary donations, we're accepting those as well.
All right, and to the best of your knowledge, have you done other donations besides in kind in the past?
In the past, no.
Okay.
This will be the first year, and those in-kind donations, we plan upon approval to create a civic funding account, and those donations will go to the civic fund. and any purchases made in terms of additional toys or coats to be given away will be purchased from the Civic Fund.
All right. Any other questions? Okay, I have none. Any further discussion? John, Arnold?
No, I'm good. Thank you.
Okay.
I'm sorry, I have one question. I have one
Sure.
question, just because I don't want us to get dinged. We got dinged a year or so ago for another event. Is it okay that we if we are broadly soliciting to the public, is it okay that we send those for on e-blast? I know Ms. Marva previously sent out Toys for Tots information where people could drop donations and various things like that. Is it okay that we also request coat donations and internally as well?
Yeah, let me just ask Chris to chime in. I mean, I understand that you're supposed to not, obviously you can't target controlled donors.
Mhm.
But you know, the way mass communication works now, it's almost impossible to pull out, you know, out of 5,000 email addresses or 10,000, the odds are you're going to hit somebody accidentally. Chris, am I correct on that?
Yes. I mean, given the fact that we are now under the new and improved ethics law, which prohibits in general solicitation unless it is for a specific government program, and you know, by applying here on behalf of the mayor's office, it is implicitly a government approved program. The ethics law provides no limitations on or directive on what modes of communications are supposed to be used in the solicitation. The e-blast goes to the Baltimore City employees, and so it goes by definition to the most general and broadest group, I believe of prospects possible that we have here. Again, the language regarding the donors has disappeared from the law, and so I don't think there's anything that would be prohibiting the use of the e-blast.
Okay,
John
thank you
Arnold?
so much.
Yeah,
Controlled.
all right, thank you. John and Arnold, any further discussion based on director's advisement?
No.
All right, I'll make a motion to approve the solicitation request waiver.
Second.
All right, all in favor of approving said waiver signify by saying aye. Aye.
Aye.
Arnold?
You're on mute, Arnold.
Somebody's waiting to join.
Sorry.
All right, are you in favor of approving the holiday on holiday waiver
Yeah.
request? All right,
Yes.
that's all three. The motion carries. Thank you for being here.
Thank you all so much.
Thank you so much. Have a good day.
You too.
Welcome.
All right, we'll go ahead and move on to the small and minority business advocacy and development request. And who's going to discuss that for us today?
That'll be me,
Perfect.
Vanessa Freund. Yep.
All right. You want to go ahead and take it away?
Sure. So we want to, if approved, solicit for funds to support local or small and minority businesses. We would like to use those funds to support the growth and development of those businesses. We work with several businesses who either want to move locations or might need some assistance with their rent to move to a bigger location, maybe some consulting in marketing, some help with their bookkeeping, things like that. And we'd like to have a fund so that they could apply to seek assistance and that we could have funds available to help them with what they're seeking to grow and further their business.
All right. Just a couple observations. It's not our job to, question whether this is a great idea or not. That is for the administration and for the Board of Estimates to determine. But I guess when I first looked at this, I thought this is interesting because you're asking a business to help another business. So you're saying you're going to solicit financial institutions, construction firms, et cetera. What if I'm a big law firm and you're going to ask, well, let me do a better example. What if I'm a giant construction firm and you're asking me to help what might be a small construction firm? I mean, it just seems interesting to me. What do you say to that?
I would say that the bigger firms are willing sometimes to help the smaller firms. They run a number of programs, cohort programs, where they are trying to attract smaller businesses and to help them to grow their skills and to grow their business. So I would say it's possible. And we would definitely ask the question, and hopefully they would be willing to support it.
Okay. Yeah, that works for me. One other tiny thing. I think Miss Gatto's name is spelled two different ways in these two different applications. Is she double T, single T? It could be.
She's double T.
Okay. Yeah, because the first one I read was this one. And yeah, I remember a vice officer named Gatto, who was a lot of fun with BPD. That's all I have. Thank you. John Arnold?
Yes, I guess my comment, it's not really a question, and I don't really have a problem with the application as such. And it's not really a question we ask, but it seems to me a concern with a request like this is the one which we ask about is how are you going to make sure controlled donors know that they're not going to get preferred treatment? But I think the flip side of that is how do you assure people who are not interested in donating that they're not going to get negative treatment or be treated unfairly or otherwise be considered not a friend of the mayor if they don't donate to your program?
Sure. So our plan would be to broadly solicit, and we have a disclaimer that we would put on anything that we send out. So it'd be very clear that there's no favorable treatment or anything like that.
Right. I see the favorable treatment side, but if I'm someone who's a recipient of a request, I won't be, and I don't have a contract with the city necessarily, but I might someday, or maybe I like it the way the city has been cleaning up the sidewalk in front of my business. And next thing I know is I'm getting a big request from the mayor's office, and I'm thinking, well, geez, not sure I really want to give to this program, but I wonder whether the mayor is going to hold it against me if I don't. That's not a question of whether I'm going to get preferential treatment, but whether I'm going to get negative treatment.
Yes, and we can add additional language that'll state that there will be, no negative, there will not be negative consequences. We can definitely add a statement around that as well. There would definitely not be any negative consequences. We just want to be able to broadly reach out to everyone to be able to support, to have the opportunity to support the small and minority businesses.
And so I'll leave it to board discussion about these applications and whether we need to ask that question. And I don't think your application is in any way deficient based on the questions we ask. I'm just raising that as an issue that we might want to consider more broadly. But as far as your particular request is concerned, it's very similar to the other requests we routinely get here. So I'm not in any way suggesting that there's something inappropriate about the language you're planning to use. I would think it's a good idea to make it both ways, that you're free to give and free not to give. But that's just a comment.
Is there any objection to that?
question.
Certainly.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Arnold, do you have?
To adding that such language?
Yeah, and is there any objection
I certainly wouldn't
by
have any objection to
mayor's
it.
office to that?
No,
Let's
we
ask
don't.
Ration.
Okay, cool.
Go ahead.
Cool bean.
Are you comfortable adding that language?
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
Yep, we can definitely. Yeah, not a problem. Definitely. Yeah.
All right, great. Any further discussion on this, with the slight amendment there?
None for me.
Okay. Is there a motion to approve subject to, the additional language, as offered?
I move to approve, subject to the additional language
All right,
that was offered.
Second,
great. All in favor of approving subject to the, amended language signify by saying aye. Aye.
Aye.
All right, thank you. 3-0. Thank you so much.
Thank
for
you.
your help today.
Thank you. Have a good day. See ya.
Thank you. All right, and I think that leaves us on the new business with the Mayor's Office of African American Male Engagement request.
It doesn't look like Officer Estep is here.
Okay. We're welcome to, that no one has to come see us. We can approve it with our own. Let me dig a little deeper into the application for approval here. Yeah, it's obviously one of the larger sized ones.
Is this a new office, this Office of African American Male Engagement, or is this something that's been in place for a while?
I think it's been in place under the current mayor, but not necessarily before that. Does anybody else know? That's just off the top of my head.
I think it was established in the aftermath of the shooting, of the Reynolds shooting by the squeegee worker. So I think that was part of the practical solution or attempt at a solution.
I mean, there's nothing, I mean, it's a pretty complete application. There's really nothing in here that I would even have any questions about.
Yeah, I don't have any questions about it either. It looks like a fairly standard application. And I would again, and I'm sorry, this is something that just occurred to me. I think these solicitations are fraught with, well, fraught may be an overstatement, but they're potentially an issue with people who don't wish to give. I mean, when you call up from the mayor's office and say the mayor would really like to see if you would contribute to this wonderful program we have, and you don't particularly think it's a very wonderful program, or you don't really feel like it's your priority for charity, you might nevertheless think, well, I better give something. The mayor asked, and I don't want to get on the mayor's bad side. It's the kind of thing I don't like about these solicitations.
Yeah. And it's not
good.
directed at any particular, solicitation or office or anything. It's a general, I mean, I say, what if you're just tapped out? I mean, I liken it to, they're different, but you get a lot of calls for donations for campaigns and other things at certain times during the year. I know many of us got a lot of texts recently asking us to give $76, even on election day and the day after. So I understand the human reaction to such a request and repeated requests, but I don't know that we're here to fix that part of it. And if there's a legislative fix by all means, bring it.
And I think part of in the administrative part, this plays into an aspect that we have to discuss regarding the jurisdiction over agencies versus individuals soliciting or accepting gifts, where there is some, at least in my eyes, some ambiguity there. So, but that would require deliberation and would be better off in the administrative part.
That's fine with me. I don't have a problem with the application as submitted, frankly. I didn't have a problem with the previous one either, but I do think that this notice that goes out and says if you're a controlled donor, you're not going to get any benefit from this. I think the opposite should also be said, which is that if you don't give us anything, we're not going to hold it against you. But that may be not within our purview, but it sure does seem to be the other side of the coin. But I'm happy with the application as submitted.
All right. Is there a motion to approve? I'll go ahead and take one team and move to approve this request. Do I have a second?
I'll second it.
All right. All in favor of approving said request signify by saying aye. Aye.
Aye.
Arnold?
Arnold is muted.
I think we lost him again.
We lost him.
All right, we're going to need to hang on then because we're down to 3. So that is our minimum number to approve.
While we're waiting for Arnold, is there any word from, I guess it's the mayor's office, isn't it? Or somebody's office that's supposed to appoint another board member?
I have followed up with the mayor's office, and I have been assured that the mayor is diligently reviewing candidates, and I'm paraphrasing this, but we have not received any additional information there. I regularly inquire. If I may editorialize, it may the problem may be there.
Chris, let me just cut you off because even though we're waiting right now, we're still in the public session.
Okay.
And it's recording. So just, I would rather
Okay.
us finish our vote and finish our business. Yeah. Thank you.
We don't even have a quorum for the.
Right. So, I mean, I think if the board has the power to do so, that we should take a 5-minute recess at this time in the public session.
Okay. That sounds fine to me. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it sounds like
Oh,
if you could.
Arnold is back.
All right.
Aye.
All right. That's exactly what we're waiting for. Thank you so much. We knew you heard us. Thank you.
I'm
All right.
having a heck of a time with my electronics today. Sorry.
All right, thank you. That will conclude our new business for the public session. We still have some other items on the docket here today. We'll talk about schedules. Can everybody go until 4 o'clock if necessary? I say if necessary.
Yes.
Yes.
All right, let's see if we can do better than that, though.
Of course.
Let's see. Next thing we should do is talk about the public session minutes for October 9th. I've reviewed them. Everything was great. I saw one tiny typo that fest instead of fees, but that was about it. So I'm satisfied with them. Members?
Okay with me.
Okay
All
with
right.
me.
Great. All right, I move that we approve the October 9th public session written minutes.
I second.
All in favor of approval, say aye.
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 All right, thank you. They're approved. Let's move to our staff update.
Well, have we voted on the charitable waiver application on the business,
Good
the one.
point. Yeah, we didn't do it while Arnold was off.
Right, we waited till he came back with the eye. So
Oh,
that's-
okay. I did not hear the, so, very good.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, every one of the three have been passed
Okay.
unanimous.
All right. Staff update, staff-wise, there's not much new to say. We have our established and true and trusted team here. Anitra is working out great for us. The annual report has been finished by myself and is currently still on the Inspector General's desk for review and has been there for a number of days, but with last week and everything being so as soon as I receive the green light from her, I will submit it to you for review and will then distribute it to the mayor and city council if approved. The legislative changes have been implemented, and that requires us to review some of the forms in our financial disclosure schedules to add the additional information that is requested, or to just edit the percentages that have changed in, for example, the share in a business. In regard to the reprogramming to the side of that interface of the portal for the financial reports, there is no progress to be reported at this point because there is some hang up between the BCIT and Brian Barge, our IT manager, and the bringing it to the Board of Estimates in the appropriate form. Hopefully this will be resolved this month. It's not, I don't consider it rocket science to implement the changes or customize an off-the-shelf product there, but we'll see. I hope we have it up for the deadline of the January deadline for the elected officials. Also, no news for the establishment of city email addresses for the board members, which I may refresh your memory, was brought up about a year ago. So again, nothing new there. And Nishan, if you could carry the numbers, please.
Sure. In November, we had 49 help desks, bringing our total to 210. A majority of them being financial disclosure efforts by ethics staff, encouraging outstanding filers to file. 28 people took the ethics training in October, bringing our total to 128. For complaints, we received 6 complaints, one of which is open, no secondary waivers. For gift solicitation waivers, we received 3 for this meeting. No waivers have expired, and just want to put a correction. I know I was doing fiscal year 2025, but we actually have 25 active waivers right now, but none of those have expired.
All right.
And yep.
Big shout out to the staff. Thank you all.
Thank
Arnold
you.
seconds that. All right. Is that the extent of the staff update for this meeting?
It is, yes.
All right. Then, Chris, why don't you segue us into the old business with the amendment in the mayor's office of infrastructure development application?
It is really just a request for them, or a notice that they would require more time. I think they had some hiccups in the establishment. They had brought to our attention that they had to change venue once already, so everything kind of was derailed in the schedule. And this is, I think, the window for fundraising for them was only 3 or 4 months. And
Okay.
a request that it is more. And I think there's nothing wrong with extending it to a year, depending on when this event will be actually taking shape and place. So I don't know if the board wanted to vote on this, or it is really just a extension of the period. The core principles and the core business of the solicitation have already been approved by the board.
All right, does the board consent to that amendment by consent of 3-0?
I do.
Arnold? Say it.
You're on mute, Arnold, I think.
A sign. Today's Baltimore Sun, anything. All right. Yeah, this is old business. It's been previously approved, Chris. So I think that we will, I think we all accept that amendment. Okay. All right. Thank you. All right. That, unless somebody speaks now, that is going to be the extent of our public meeting, a public session for November 13th, 2024. All right. We'll adjourn the public session. Thank you all.